Once upon a time, in a tranquil settlement, there lived 3 highwaymen. They appeared very decent and honorable, so much so that even their families were unaware of their true nature. The 3 were deep friends, always supporting one another through every difficulty. One day, they planned a major robbery in a distant, wealthy city so they could be rid of petty thefts forever. After a long journey, they arrived in the city and, under the cover of night, broke into an old but affluent house. After a thorough search, they found a sack full of gold coins, ashrafis, and precious jewelry in a large chest. In another room, an old woman was sleeping soundly. They took all the valuables and set off back toward their settlement, hiding the goods in a desolate ruin. The sack of gold coins was kept with one of the partners. The following night, the highwayman who had the sack opened it out of curiosity and found a letter along with 1,000 gold coins. The letter was written by the old woman to her daughter, explaining that this entire savings was her dowry, which she had collected for her daughter's happy life after a relationship had been broken due to poverty. Reading this letter struck the highwayman's heart like a blow. He was overcome with intense remorse. He pictured his own mother and sister and burst into tears. The weight of the gold coins now felt like the burden of sin. He immediately decided to return all the wealth. Akbar stayed awake all night, tormented by the fire of his conscience. At dawn, he called his 2 companions, Rashid and Jamil. Akbar showed them the letter and told them everything in a trembling voice. Tears welled up in Rashid's eyes, and Jamil silently looked down. They decided together to return all the stolen wealth. Akbar said, "This wasn't just theft. It was a sin, and we must erase it." They picked up the sack and set out toward the same city. All along the way, their hearts trembled with fear and shame. Near the city, they stopped and prayed that the old woman was safe. They quietly entered the same house from where they had stolen. The old woman was awake, praying that her lost treasure would be returned. Akbar gently placed the sack by her door. They left no trace behind and silently walked away. In the morning, when the old woman saw the sack, tears rolled down her eyes. She looked up to the sky and said, "O Allah, guide my lost sons." After returning the stolen wealth, Akbar, Rashid, and Jamil could not find peace. Their hearts still carried the weight of their past sins. They decided never to steal again and to live honest lives. For days, they wandered from place to place, searching for redemption. One evening, they met a kind old man who was helping poor travelers. The old man shared food with them and listened to their story. He said softly, "True forgiveness lies not in words, but in deeds." His words touched their hearts deeply. From that day onward, they began helping others with sincerity and hard work. Akbar started teaching poor children in a nearby village. Rashid worked to rebuild broken houses for widows and orphans. Jamil spent his days feeding hungry travelers and caring for the sick. Years passed, and their lives became a source of comfort for others. One morning, the same old man returned to meet them again. He smiled and said, "Your repentance has been accepted. You are no longer thieves, you are men of honor." Tears of gratitude filled their eyes. They looked to the sky and thanked Allah for giving them a second chance at life.